All right. Hello, everybody. Here on Butthurt Television, we are going to look at a lot of butthurt and discuss butthurt, so that we can understand the meaning of butthurt and understand exactly how things are going. And I'm also at the very end, I'm going to talk about something that should concern everyone who has a social media platform in the cryptocurrency space, which is a very important thing. So mostly this is going to be about Libra and a lot of the stuff that I saw during the hearings. So let's start off with the biggest, probably the biggest lie ever said. Ever said. I mean, it's got to be at least in the top 10. Check this out.
reason, to say you're not going to use something. We wouldn't even use cash then, because cash is laundered all the time and used for nefarious. That's all we've ever used for nefarious activities, and we certainly had plenty of them.
I don't think that's accurate at all. The cash is laundered all the time. We have the strongest AML system in the world. We just came back from FATF on a global basis. They've agreed to implement.
You know that meme where it's like and like the screen just goes black and you see like the ending credits like. So U.S. dollar fiat is not used for crime, guys. We just found out by Munchin over here. Munchin fucking said it. Okay, he said so. He said that U.S. dollars are not, in fact, used for crime. All right, let's continue this.
Money laundering. I think, as you know, we use sanctions tools, so we combat bad actors in the U.S. dollar every day to protect the U.S. financial system. And what we're saying is
There's been a lot of nefarious activities historically, and it's never involved Bitcoin, so obviously it's been successfully done.
No, sir, it was Bitcoin the whole time, okay? Back in the 1950s, it was Bitcoin. We finally know we have the face. We have the face of all crime. Right now, it's Bitcoin.
Unless you think there
I don't think it's been successfully done with cash. I'll push back on
that. Oh God! I just realized that I gotta lower the volume of my. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to blow anyone's ears out. Oh shit. Okay. All right. I'm not even gonna fix this. Okay. All right. I can't. Munchin, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Okay, all right. So anyway, I do have a salient thing to talk about here.
It doesn't become the equivalent to Swiss numbered bank accounts.
Hey, what is going on?
Okay, so it is. All right, and thank you, Sonny, for bringing that to light. So I do have a thing to actually talk about regarding that. Okay, so Mr. Munchin, outside of the fact that he's he's like, yo dog, fiat was never used successfully for crime. Outside of that, like, all right, he's clamping down. He wants to clamp down as hard as he can, in order to make it so that we can't use cryptocurrency for crime and whatnot. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Here's the problem, Munchin, is that the main problem is that if you're too strict, you know what people are gonna do? They're not gonna come back to fiat. But anybody gets paid in cryptocurrency, like that's not like a thing. It is a thing. It is actually a thing. What do you think coins like Libra are gonna do once you're in Libra? Okay, now this is actually probably something that could be its own video, but there's going to be gambling. Whether you want to admit it or not, like this is actually something that should be brought up, is to be very careful if you have a gambling addiction moving forward, because as cryptocurrency continues to grow, gambling is going to be more and more prevalent, and there's nothing dog shit nothing anybody can do about it. Okay. So, especially people like Munchin here. So all what Munchin is going to do is he's going to clamp down on the fiat off-ramps and on-ramps, right? And he's going to make sure that it's really hard to, to get the stuff, in an easy way. without having full KYC and everything like that. It's pointless. The only thing it's going to accomplish is that it's going to make it so that nobody wants to off ramp back into fiat because they're using their new Facebook, and they suddenly just ran into $50,000. They don't want the government to know about that. And like, okay, all right, well, whatever. Like, well, it's a Facebook platform or whatever. Like, no, they're just gonna disappear. They're just gonna fucking ghost. And that's that. Like, they're not going to. They're gonna ghost right into another cryptocurrency, and that's that. Okay, they're gonna probably end up just going right into something like fucking, and the gambling's not going to be. It's gonna be underground, right? Or I'm not just the gambling. Upvotes are gonna give you money. Everything's going to be some kind of an incentivized system. Watching an advertisement, you earn Libra when you watch an advertisement. Earn Libra when you take a shit in a certain corner of the room. Like, earn Libra, pictures of your ass. Like, I'm telling you, man, people are going to be there's just going to be Libra flying all over the place. All right? So, Mr. Munchin, stop it. You're just making it worse. By overly policing the off and on ramps, all you're going to do is make it so nobody wants fiat anymore. Because all right, if you end up super broke because something goes wrong, right? Before cryptocurrency and you went super broke, you were just fucked, right? What's going to happen, though, is like, oh, somebody gets laid off from their job and blah, blah, blah. Like, they never really even thought about how much cryptocurrency they had. They were just farting around with it, and that stuff ends up being kind of becoming their, super important to them, because that ends up being the only money that they have left because they lost everything else, right? And if the more that happens, the more you're just going to have people who are 100% in crypto, because crypto, the value fluctuates. You end up getting it for no reason. Like, it just happens. Like, you get forks. Like, I had a certain amount of a coin, and I ended up just getting like another coin for no reason. Like, it's just like a virus. It spreads and it keeps going. I've explained this before. I should probably upload that video on YouTube as well. Okay. So, knowing all that, there's nothing you could do about it, right? Like, just let it go. Just let go. Just stop it. You're going to make it worse. You're going to make the US dollar. You're going to fuck the US dollar even harder. Anyway, okay, enough with munching. Let's watch some.
Dollars will be in a basket of euro, pound, yen, etc. in the reserve, and as a result, because the reserve is 1 for 1, your Libra unit of value will always be backed by the same value in the reserve at all times, guaranteeing stability and low volatility.
And that reserve is in the cloud, that reserve is in a bank, that reserve...
He just asked if it was going to be in the cloud. Sweet summer child.
...is where?
That reserve is
on the blockchain
with very large global banks that provide custodial services to a number of companies. But this is something that we're also in discussions with the G7 working group to ensure that there's proper regulatory oversight in how the reserve is managed and how it's custodied as well.
All right, so we've got this medium, this currency of some sort called Libra, and now it's half here, half there. I want to use it. I want to buy something in Paraguay. So, which if I were using dollars was going to cost me $4. So how do I do that? Do I then go to Colibra? And Colibra is like my credit card, and it...
Okay, so a lot of these guys didn't really... There were actually a lot of people who were super informed and everything like that. But basically what this guy kind of just, he sums it up as like...
4/5 of a token of a Libra to Paraguay?
Congressman, you would use any of the wallets, Calibra being one of them, to transfer the money that you wanted to transfer to that other country. And the way it would work is the same way that you would use any payment apps here in the U.S., like Venmo or PayPal.
So it's a wiring system, more or less, except...
He thinks it's just a wiring service. Oh, he has no clue. He has no clue. So this particular guy, I mean, there wasn't really any particular reason why I wanted to include him, other than the fact that I just thought it was funny. He thinks it's just a wiring service. No, dude, it's a smart contract system, and the cloud is a fucking blockchain. Okay, so why is that different from a cloud? Well, because you can incentivize people to do anything you want. using a value virus. There's a huge incentive. A huge incentive. Like, I can't even fucking explain how fucking huge the incentive actually is to have something like that. Well, why does it matter? I don't understand. What's the incentive? Because you could give the fuck, you made this shit, you could give it away to anybody that does anything you want them to do. You have now an army of shills. You have an army of people who are just clicking things so that they could get a chance. They'll watch advertisements. They'll do anything that they can. This actually goes back to my first point, by the way, that Mr. Munchin is going to clamp down on the off and on ramps. Well, I'll have you know, dude, this is part of that. This is part of that, okay? And so what's going to happen is you have this, like, huge incentive. People are getting upvotes. Someone posts a picture of boobs or, you know, a girl in a tight bikini or something like that. And, like, well, I guess all bikinis are tight. And she ends up getting, like, 100 grand worth of fucking Libras because of the upvotes. Because somebody, you know, because everybody was, you know, staking and everything like that. It becomes a status symbol because of how much you have staked and how many coins you have on the account and everything like that. And, you know, some you know, orbiter fucking clicks upvote and boom, she's got like, you know, $100,000 worth of fucking Libra. There's incentives here. It's a giant incentivized system. So no, it isn't a wiring service. It's like if a wiring service became a massive virus that just spreads everywhere and just keeps going. So next.
From Guam, Mr. San Nicolas, who is also the Vice Chair for the Committee on Financial Services, is recognized.
Let me speed this up a little bit.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Marcus, what does the organization project the average user will have as a Libra balance?
Congressman, we have not projected average balances at this point.
You really expect me to believe that? Facebook is built around average users, average number of hits. Visa, MasterCard, all these huge players are signing up, and you guys have no idea how much you expect to have in the average Libra account?
Congressman, it will...
By the way, this guy's based as fuck. Like, seriously. Not this guy,
really
but, I mean, he's pretty based
the
too, but...
of Libra, the currency, and the network.
Okay, so can you give me a low estimate and a high estimate of what the variation is expected?
He's got the calculator out and everything. He's like, what are the numbers? What are the numbers? Give me some numbers here. I need the numbers, motherfucker.
We have not made projections for this, but we would be happy to follow up with your office and your team when we do.
Well, I think that, well, first of all, I absolutely disbelieve that. Like I said, those organizations are built around understanding their users and what they're anticipating their usage is going to be.
Oh, right.
And I think that you're just trying to hide that figure because when you actually start doing the math, it becomes very, very alarming.
He knows so
In your own post,
much.
sir, you mentioned that
He's so smart. This guy's smart
billions
as
of
fuck.
users.
You can just tell. It's just oozing
firmly believe that
intelligence.
if Libra is successful, it can be a
I'm not even
non-linear
being
step
sarcastic.
change for billions of people who need it the most. So if we're talking about $100 in a Libra account, you're talking about $100 billion. If we're talking about $1,000 in a Libra account, if you're talking about $10,000 in a Libra account. And so I think that the amounts that we're talking about in terms of an average user is critical in order to understand the full scope of how pervasive this kind of action is going to be. And I'm going to go through why that is so critical.
Get on your booty shorts. You're about to get butt fucked. That's it. It's 1 billion users. Oh, they're only gonna have like a couple dollars. That's $2 billion fucking dollars. What are you talking? Sucked out of the economy? Yep. It turns out that unemployment's at record highs. You know what that means? People are holding more cryptocurrency than they are U.S. dollars. Ta-da! Ta-da-da! Ta-da! Put a banana in your ear. Okay, so that's that, man. That's it. I mean, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Oh, I put her here because I just wanted to laugh at her for a
has
second.
a very specific meaning, usually incorporates monetary policy. Yet the Libra white paper does not define backed. Rather, it states that Libra will be, quote, backed by government currency and government securities.
She read the white paper. So anyway,
Given, donated, if you will, the technology because it's now open source for the whole world to be able to use and leverage. As a result, we are not controlling the code base, and by the time we launch, we will be...
so Libra's going to be open source. Yeah, they're really aiming to fuck the shit out of this. Like,
one of 100 members with no special privilege.
okay, so here's how this works. You have 100 nodes, right? Which, by the way, is even more decentralized than EOS and potentially even Ethereum, once it goes proof of stake, arguably may even be kind of more decentralized. The only problem is that they're all corporations, right? And they all have tons and tons of money. So they're a wealthy elitist group, right? And they can deperson the fuck out of you. Like Alex Jones ain't gonna have no crypto. I'm sorry, Alex Jones. Alex Jones is not gonna have any Libra. The poor guy, poor fucking guy. But I'm just saying, like, you could kind of it's a nasty situation.
As far as the wallet is concerned, I believe that
But theoretically, it is more decentralized than even some of the more decentralized cryptos. I guess that's all of them, really. But I mean, 21 nodes. That's Steam and EOS are 21 nodes. This one's supposed to be pushing like 100.
the idea here often is that one day we will launch and suddenly 2 billion people will arrive on the Calibra wallet. This is not the approach we're taking. People will have to open specific Calibra accounts, so they're not going to be able to use their Facebook account. They have to open new accounts. And in order for them to do that, they will have to upload a government-issued ID to identify so that we can meet our KYC requirements.
Thank you, Mr. Marcus. I can appreciate that you understand that there is a trust problem here, given its disregard for U.S. law and its massive scale. I think foreign countries could find it difficult to effectively regulate Facebook.
Yeah, there's no reason to trust Facebook, but then again, there's no reason to trust anyone. You don't have to trust Satoshi either. There's no reason to trust anybody. That's what this technology is for, is to take the trust out of the equation. So, I mean, it doesn't really change anything. So a lot of people keep bringing up I'm really going to have to trust you. Well, that's what the technology's for. That's why I call it trustless. That's why it's supposed to exist. So in a way, I mean, the only reason why Libra can be successful is because it's trustless. You don't have to trust them. So who gives a fuck if you're going to trust Facebook? You could just expect Facebook to be honest. And there's two types of honesty. There's telling the truth all the time and being consistent.
But if you talk to any member on this committee, they will know nothing about Libra. They will know nothing about Calibra. They will know nothing about,
They know about it now.
How it is organized. They will know nothing about the role that Facebook is going to play in this big association that now has 28 companies and looking to get 100 companies. And so, despite the fact that we all support innovation and we all understand what is important for our economy to grow,
She's
and
building
for
up
the
to
future of
this.
country,
She's just charging it up. She's like trying to do a spirit bomb on him. She's like, "Come on, everybody on Earth, spirit bomb! Just get all your energy. I'm summoning all my chi."
Lawmakers to ensure that we will get this right. And this is my commitment to you, Chairwoman. We will take the time to get this right.
Thank you very much. The gentleman from North Carolina, Ranking Member Mr. McHenry, is recognized for 5.
So one of the other things that keeps happening in during this, they keep saying, we really need you to, maybe try just do a sandbox version of this, and the guy just stares blankly at them. You know he's gonna be. He's gonna he's just gonna keep going with it, right? This guy right here, because anytime they tried to say, well, please stop, just try, because of the size of this, and we need you to just put lube on your dick before you finally butt fuck us. So they're moving the company to Switzerland, right? And basically, they're moving the company to Switzerland, which means that that's going to fuck a lot of potential jobs. In other words, cryptocurrency doesn't have any borders because the internet doesn't really have any borders. And even if you try to, there's ways to get around it and blah, 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 right? So they're moving to Switzerland, which also, come on, let's think about that for a second. Sounds a little bit like somebody might be dodging a little bit of the taxes. But other than that, no, it can't possibly be tax evasion or something. Why would they go to Switzerland of all places? Oh, it's because they want to make sure that they seem like they have a neutral identity. It's like, come on, guys, come on. It's the reason that they're just going to Switzerland for obvious fucking reason. They're not gonna pay you any money, Mr. Government. You aren't getting anything out of this. You're getting butt fucked, and he's not even gonna fucking leave you like $20 on the fucking on the counter. It's like you're just gonna get butt fucked, and that's that. Okay, so now we also have to worry about the fact that all these jobs, the tech industry is going to probably be in Switzerland, for fuck's sake. So, how are we going to deal with that, right? So all these jobs are just going to be, swooped out. They're going to disappear. But nobody, once everybody sees Facebook being successful with this, then why would anybody be like, hey guys, yeah, let's not do the same thing. They're all gonna want to just do the same thing. There's gonna be a Microsoft coin, and then Microsoft's gonna move to Switzerland, and then there's gonna be a, and then once everybody says you're not allowed to move to Switzerland anymore, they're gonna fucking like move to the Congo or some weird random fucking place, right? And you're like, okay, well, why are you guys in the Congo? Like, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, oh, I don't know, we're just building new systems. We just want to seem like we got a neutral identity. I don't know how we ended up in Somalia of all places, but we kind of spruced the place up a little bit, add a couple trees, and it feels like home now. Put a couple McDonald's over here, like you know what I mean. Like all of a sudden, the entire world, all of a sudden, anyone who's in the tech industry is just going to be moving to all these weird fucking places because they want to have, they want to seem neutral. They don't want to, they want to seem like a worldwide, and that's globalism in a nutshell. But it's not helping the government anymore. Now the government's going to be the one that's going to experience a lot of interesting issues. So, okay, so there's a weird correlation that I wanted to bring up at this moment. So it's 1920 was with the Great Depression, right? We're at 2019 right now. Isn't that a little weird how it seems to be getting ready to happen a second time? Isn't that strange? Like, okay, it's looking like the economy's kind of fucked, right? I mean, I look at like the Dow Jones and everything like that. Yeah, sure, they're they finally painted a higher high, and you get a nice bubble pop. Pretty nasty. Took us to a lower low. I think we're getting ready for a recession. It just feels like it in the air, and it's kind of weird how the timing is happening in the 1920s. You know what I mean? Like the 2020s. So like, do we have like a 100-year, a century pattern of at least one Great Depression? So I guess we're going towards the Great Depression again. Something's gonna pop, and I feel just a lot of anxiety about it. I'm really anxious about it. So, what is the main takeaway right now when it comes to this entire thing with Libra that's super important to understand? Well, at least in terms of for people who are in the crypto space, Libra is going to be the first time where user experience or UX design. Now this is very important. This is probably the most important thing. Where UX design and cryptocurrency finally line up. Now you can argue that Libra isn't a true cryptocurrency. I'm going to argue the opposite. It has all of the fundamental aspects that make it a value virus. Okay? To me, decentralization isn't the thing that defines what a cryptocurrency is. The fact that it's a value virus is the defining attribute. Okay, that's the killer dApp. Bitcoin exists to be a value virus. Libra exists to be a value virus. It's the same thing. All it does is it just spreads and then it takes over everything else that's around it. And that's how we end up in this kind of a situation where it's like, okay, all right. Libra is a true cryptocurrency in my opinion. And it's going to be the first time Bitcoin's always had a poor user experience where, if you have this big key and there's no way to get your wallet back, and like all of the negative things about cryptocurrency in general are not going to exist with Libra, because Libra is going to have all of the all that stuff figured out. It's going to be your Facebook username is going to be the name of your wallet, and they're going to make the shit butter. It's going to be smooth as fuck, right? And just really, really easy to get into. It doesn't cost money to make a wallet, and like they'll have this shit figured out in ways that we didn't even fucking think about. We didn't even begin to think. Our heads would have exploded if we had thought about this stuff that they're going to come up with Libra, at this point in time. I'm telling you right now that Libra is going to kind of crush the competition on this front. I think that Libra is going to be the first time that we actually get a chance to see what the value virus can do when there's no more friction. Because the main friction up until this point in time has always been the fact that cryptocurrency is very cryptic. And I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this now, but yeah, take it easy, guys.